Welcome, fellow bookworms, to Tipra's Den. My name is Whitney, and today we have April's prompt announcement for Genre-a-thon. And so the theme for April is just regarding Easter, and so it is to read a Christian book. And for this, I'm going to go with The Shack by W.M. Paul Young. And I know this prompt isn't going to be for everyone, but I really think like there's some really good Christian fiction out there. Like even if you don't necessarily believe in God. And this author, I read Eve by this author, and that is a perfect example of that because it really felt more sci-fi. And there's another author which I will actually mention in case you're looking for one if you are interested in doing this prompt and you really don't know where to start. So W.M. Paul Young, Eve, like I said, if you're not fully comfortable with it, it does deal with like um creation and such, but it really feels more sci-fi than Christian fiction. And another great author is Tessa Afshar. I read, oh, I forget what it's called, but I'll insert a picture here by this author. This is another book I'm going to be reading in April, but it's not for the Genre-a-thon. And the way they handled like the history and such, it felt more historical than like preachy, which is what I appreciate. Like obviously God was very much the forefront for these people and everything, but it felt very much more historical. And so I really, really like this author's writing. I thought Tessa Afshar's writing was very accessible. I've only read the one book. I'm, like I said, going to be reading this one in April as well. But I really enjoyed the writing. So I think that's an author to definitely check out. And like I said, I don't know about this one. This one seems like it's going to be a little heavier, but Eve was so, so good. And so yeah, I think there can be really, really good Christian fiction out there that we don't necessarily pick up if we're not Christians. So, my relationship with kind of God and my beliefs and such and religion is very complex. So I'm not going to get into it, but I do enjoy reading Christian fiction fairly regularly, but it's not an genre that I fully embrace either, which is kind of why I have it for Genre-a-thon. And so, yeah, the shack, it says Mackenzie Allen Phillips' youngest daughter, Missy, has been abducted during a family vacation, and evidence that she may have been brutally murdered is found in an abandoned shack deep in the Oregon wilderness. 4 years later, in the midst of his great sadness, Mac receives a suspicious note, apparently from God, inviting him back to that shack for a weekend. Against his better judgment, he arrives at the shack on a wintry afternoon and walks back into his darkest nightmare. What he finds there will change Mac's world forever. Um, and so, in a world where religion seems to grow increasingly irrelevant, the shack wrestles with the timeless question, where is God in a world so filled with unspeakable pain? The answers Mac gets will astound you and perhaps transform you as much as it did him. You'll want everyone you know to read this book. So we shall see. I know this author's more well-known book. Like I said, I read Eve and absolutely love it. I read Eve for my ABC author challenge, my Y author, obviously. And yeah, I was like, okay, I love that so much. I definitely need to pick up The Shack. But like I said, I even though I'm not overly religious or anything like that, I really like some Christian fiction, and it definitely is a genre I want to be kind of more open to. And so that's why, like I said, that's for the Genre-a-thon. So I picked The Shack, but I would recommend Tessa Afshar if you're just kind of delving in. Either one of these authors would really, really work for this prompt. So if you're going to participate, I hope you do. I hope you kind of broaden your horizons. Let me know what you're going to read down below. And that is it for me. Happy reading, everybody. Bye.